Alrighty. Hagar and Ishmael. Now, Sarai, Abram's wife, had borne him no children, but she had an Egyptian slave named Hagar. So she said to Abram, "The Lord has kept me from having children. Go, sleep with my slave. Perhaps I can build a family through her." Abram agreed with what Sarai said. So after Abram had been living in Canaan 10 years, Sarai, his wife, took her Egyptian slave Hagar and gave her to her husband to be his wife. He slept with Hagar, and she conceived, but she knew she was pregnant, and she began to despise her mistress. What? You are responsible for the wrong I am suffering. You're right when I said it. I didn't even see that. I put my slave in your arms, and now she knows she is pregnant. She despises me. May the Lord judge between you and me. Your slave is in your hands. Abram said, "Do with her whatever you think best." Then Sarai mistreated Hagar, so she fled from her. The angel of the Lord found Hagar near a spring in the desert. It was a spring that is beside road of Shur. And he said, "Hagar, slave of Sarai, where have you come from, and where are you going?" "I am running away from my mistress Sarai," she answered. Then the angel of the Lord told her, "Go back to your mistress and submit to her." The angel said, "I will increase your descendants so much that they will be too numerous to count." And no, it does not mean submit to her, does not mean sexual or relation doings. Nothing with that. So don't go twisted, women. Don't get twisted with that and think you could get away with having with your best friend. No, you cannot. What this means is go back to your mistress. Go back to your master. A mistress is a master. That's a woman master. Go back to your mistress because she was a slave and submit to her. Be her slave again. So it was not bad to be a slave back then, because back then slaves were not treated ill at the start. The reason why she was treated ill was because she conceived a child with Sarai's husband. So Sarai got mad because of what Sarai has done, which is why I just don't get why what Sarai has done that she is mad at her slave. The angel of the Lord also said to her, "You are now pregnant, and you will give birth to a son. You shall name him Ishmael, for the Lord has heard of your misery. He will be a wild donkey of a man." Oh. "His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand against him, and he will live hostilely towards all his brothers." She gave this name to the Lord who spoke to her, "You are the God who sees me." For she said, "I have now seen the one who sees me." That is why the well was called Bir Lahai Roi. It is still there between Kadesh and Bered. So Hagar bore Abram a son, and Abram gave the name Ishmael to the son she had born. Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore him Ishmael. The covenant of circumcision. When Abram was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to him and said, "I am the God Almighty. Walk before me faithfully and be blameless. Then I will make my covenant between you and me, and will greatly increase your numbers." Abram fell face down, and God said to him, As for me, this is my covenant with you. You will be the father of many nations. No longer will you be called Abram. Your name will be called Abraham. For I have made you father of many nations. I will make you very fruitful, and I will make nations of you, and kings will come from you. I will establish my covenant as an everlasting covenant between me and you and your descendants after you for generations to come, to be your God and the God of your descendants after you. The whole land of Canaan, where you now reside as a foreigner, I will give you as an everlasting possession to you and your descendants after you, and I will be their God. Then God said to Abraham, as for you just then his name changed. Abraham. As for you, you must keep my covenant, you and your descendants after you for the generations to come. This is my covenant with you and your descendants after you. The covenant you are to keep. Every male among you shall be circumcised. You are to undergo circumcision, and it will be the sign of a covenant between me and you. For generations to come, every male among you who is 8 days old must be circumcised, including to those in your household or brought with money from a foreigner, those who are not your offspring. Whether born in your household or bought with your money, they must be circumcised. My covenant in your flesh is to be an everlasting covenant. Any circumcised male who has not been circumcised in the flesh will be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant. God also said to Abraham, as for Sarai your wife, you are no longer to call her Sarai, for her name will be Sarah. I will bless her, and I will surely give you a son by her, and I will bless her so that she will be the mother of nations. Kings of peoples will come from her. Abraham fell face down. He laughed, and he said to himself, will a son be born with a name 100 years old? Or will a son be born to a man with 100 years old? Will Sarah bear a child at the age of 90? And Abraham said to God, if only Ishmael might live under your blessing. Then God said, yes, but your wife Sarai will bear you a son, and you shall call him Isaac. I will establish my covenant with him as an everlasting covenant for his descendants after him. And as for Ishmael, I have heard you. I will surely bless him. I will make him fruitful, and I will greatly increase his numbers. He will be the father of 12 rulers, and I will make him into a great nation. But my covenant will establish with Isaac, whom Sarah will bear to you by this time next year. When he had finished speaking to Abraham, God went up from him. On that very day, Abraham took his son Ishmael and all those born in his household or bought with his money. Every male in his household, and circumcised them as God told him. Abraham was 99 years old when he was circumcised. And his son Ishmael was 13. Abraham and his son Ishmael were both circumcised on the very day. And every male in Abraham's house, including those born to the household or bought from a foreigner, was circumcised with them, the 3 visitors. The Lord appeared to Abraham near the great trees of Mamre, while he was sitting at the entrance to his tent in the heat of the day. Abraham looked up and saw the 3 men standing nearby. When he saw them, he hurried from the entrance of his tent to meet them and bowed low to the ground and said, if I have found favor in your eyes, my Lord, do not pass your servant by. Let a little bit water be brought, and then you may all wash your feet and rest under this tree. And let me get you something to eat, so you can be refreshed and go on your way, now that you have come to your servant. Very well, they answered, do as you say. So Abraham hurried quickly into the tent to Sarah. Quick, he said, let the 3 seahs of the finest flour and knead it and bake some bread. So he ran to the herd and selected a choice, tender calf and gave it to the servant, who served and prepared it, who hurried to prepare it. He then brought some curds of milk and a calf that had been prepared, and set these before him. While they ate, he stood near them under a tree. Where is your wife Sarah? They asked him. There, in the tent, he said. One of them said, I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah, your wife, will have a son. Now Sarah was listening at the entrance of the tent, which was behind him. Abraham and Sarah were already old, and Sarah was past the age of childbearing. So Sarah laughed to herself as she thought, after I am worn out and my Lord is old, will I now have this pleasure? Then the Lord said to Abraham, Why did Sarah laugh and say, well, I really have a child now that I am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? I will return to you at the appointed time next year, and Sarah will have a son. Sarah was afraid, so she lied and said, I did not laugh. But he said, yes, you did laugh. This reminds me of like real like parent conversation. It's like your own mother, father, your own grandpa and grandma and stuff. It sounds like real life. It sounds like a real event in real time. In today's time. This shows that nothing ever changes. Human is still human. Abraham pleads for Sodom. When the man got up to leave, they looked down toward Sodom, and Abraham walked along them to see them on their way. And the Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham what I am about to do? Abraham surely became great and powerful nation, and all the nations on earth will be blessed through him. For I have chosen him so that I will direct his children and his household after him to keep way of the Lord by doing what is right and just. So the Lord will bring about to Abraham what he has promised him. Then the Lord said, call outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is so great and their sin is so grievous that I will go down and see if they have done is as bad as the outcry that has reached me. If not, I will know. The men turned away and went toward Sodom, but Abraham remained standing before the Lord. Then Abraham approached him and said, will you sweep away the righteous and the wicked? What if there are 50 righteous people in the city? Will you really sweep it away and not spare the place for the sake of the 50 righteous people in it? As it be from you to do such a thing, to kill the righteous and the wicked, treating the righteous and the wicked alike, far be it from you. Will not the judge of all the judge do right? The Lord said, if I find 50 righteous people in the city of Sodom, I will spare the whole place for their sake. Then Abraham spoke up again and said, now that I have been so bold as to speak to the Lord, though I am nothing but a dust and ashes, what if the number of outrighteous people is 5 less than 50? Will you destroy the whole city for the lack of 5 people? If I find 45 people there, he said, I will surely not destroy it. So he even gave him 5 more people off as a promise. Once again he spoke, because the Lord knew that there wasn't that much righteous people in there. So the Lord knew that he was going to promise 5 less. God promised him 5 less than him. God is really giving us more than a chance. He's giving us more than what we need all the time when he gives us a choice. Every single time. Once again he spoke to him, what if only 40 are found there? He said, for the sake of 40 I will not do it. And he said, may the Lord not be angry, but let me speak. Oh, wow. What if only 30 can be found there? And he answered, I will not do it if I find 30 there. And Abraham said, now that I have been so bold as to speak to the Lord, what if only 20 can be found there? He said, for the sake of 20, I will not destroy it. And he said, may the Lord not be angry, but let me speak just once more. I knew it. What if only 10 can be found there? He answered, for the sake of 10, I will not destroy it. When the Lord had finished speaking with Abraham, he left, and Abraham returned home. See, he went all the way down. God promised him all the way down to the number of 10 people being saved. He would even, if there was only even 10 people saved, he would still not destroy the city. Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed. The 2 angels arrived to Sodom in the evening, and Lot was sitting in the gateway of the city. When he saw them, he got up to beat them and bowed down with his face to the ground. My lords, he said, please turn aside your servant's house. You can wash your feet and spend night and then go on your way early in the morning. No, they answered. We will spend all night in the square. But insisted so strongly that they did not go with him and entered his house. He prepared a meal for them, baking bread without yeast. And they ate without yeast. My dad has been talking about that for years, and this is the first time I've seen it in the Bible. Wow. Without yeast. They ate bread without yeast. That's what bread was made with. Without yeast to begin with. Before they had gone to bed, all the men from every part of the city of Sodom. And if y'all don't know what yeast is, it's supposed to eat things in your stomach before you digest it, so it'll keep you coming back for more. That's why America has only yeast like things, chips and stuff, with air pockets in it. Both young and old surrounded the house. They called Lot, where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us so that we can have intercourse with them. Lot went outside to meet them and shut the door behind them and said, no, my friends, don't do the wicked thing. Look, I never slept with a man. Let me bring them out of you. Let me bring them out to you, and you can do what you like with them, but don't do anything with these men, for they have come under the protection of my roof. Get out of the way. Get out of our way, they replied. This fellow came here as a foreigner and now wants to play the judge. We'll treat you worse than them. It feels like me moving here 2 years ago, and then all the pedophiles getting mad just because I'm here and blocking them from seeing me. And then they're coming and stalking to me and trying to piss me off and do this and that and trying to hurt me physically and try to stalk me all day long just because I'm hiding myself even more, which is pissing them off even more, making them do more of it. This sounds exactly like that. Yes, I am the one that makes the rules. You're dang right. You're dang right. Oh no! Flat tire. Somebody got a flat tire. I'm keeping that in. 2 minutes is a lot. Actually, hang on. We'll treat you worse than them. Wow. They kept bringing pleasure on Lot and moved forward to break down the door. But the man inside reached out and pulled Lot back into the house and shut the door. Then they struck the men who were at the door of that house, the young, the old, the blind, the blindest, so that they could not find the door. The two men said to Lot, "Do you have anyone else here? Sons-in-law, sons or daughters, or anyone else in the city who belongs to you? Get them out of here, because we are going to destroy this place. The outcry of the Lord against his people is so great that he has sent us to destroy it." Sounds like me. Sounds familiar. The Lord has sent unto you a messenger. Behold, if you ignore him, you shall truly receive your reward. It's a little too late for old people around here. You're already going to hell and you're already stalking children till you're dead. No matter what you hear from Jesus or me. And I know that for a fact. Even after this saying to you, you will still stalk children, and I know it. Cut that part. Cut. So Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-law, who were pledged to marry his daughters. And he said, "Hurry and get out of this place, because the Lord is about to destroy this city." But his sons-in-law thought that he was joking. With the coming of dawn, the angels urged Lot, saying, "Hurry, take your wife and her 2 daughters who are there, or you will be swept away when the city is punished." When he hesitated, the men grasped his hand and the hands of his wife and the 2 daughters, and he led them safely out of the city. For the Lord was merciful to them. As soon as they had brought them out, one of them said, "Flee for your lives. Don't look back, and don't stop anywhere in the plain. Flee to the mountains, or you will be swept away." But Lot said to them, "No, my lords, please. Your servant has found favor in your eyes, and you have shown great kindness to me in sparing my life. But I can't flee to the mountains. This disaster will overtake me, and I'll die. Look, here is a town near enough for me to run to, and it is small. Let me flee to it. It is very small, isn't it? Then my wife will be spared." And he said to him, "Very well, I will grant this request to you. I will not overthrow the town you speak of, but flee there quickly, because I cannot do anything unless you reach it. That is why the town is called Zor." By the time Lot reached Zor, the sun risen over the land, and the Lord rained down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah. From the Lord out of the heavens, thus he overthrew the cities and the entire plain, destroying all those living in the cities, and also the vegetation in the land. But Lot's wife looked back, and she became a pillar of salt. Early in the morning, Abraham got up and returned to the place where he had stood up before the Lord. He looked downward towards Sodom and Gomorrah, toward all the land of the plain, and he saw the dense smoke rising from the land, like smoke from a furnace. So God went and destroyed the cities of the plain. He remembered Abraham, and he brought Lot out of his catastrophe, that he overthrew the cities where Lot had lived. Lot and his daughters. Lot and his 2 daughters left Zor and settled in the mountains, for he was afraid to stay in Zor. He and his 2 daughters lived in a cave. One day older, the daughter said to the younger, "Our father is old. There is no man around here to give us children, as it is custom all over earth. Let's get our father drink wine and then sleep with him and preserve our family line through our father." See, this is where it went wrong. That night they got their father drunk to drink wine, and the older daughter went and slept with him. He was not aware of it, when she lay down or when she got up. The next day, the older daughter said to the younger, "Last night I slept with my father. Let's get him drink wine again tonight. And you go sleep in with us so we can preserve our family line through our father." So they just really wanted to keep their family line going. They didn't care what the Alabama screwy they were going on there. That's not good, but at least they were trying to do a right thing, unlike this generation. That's why it was better back then than it was here. So they got their father to drink wine, so that night also, the younger daughter went out and slept with him. Again, he was not aware of it when she laid down or when she got up. So both of Lot's daughters became pregnant with their father. The older daughter had a son, and she named him Moab, or Moab, and she was the father of the Moabites. Yeah, it is Moab, because it's Moabites of the day of the Moabites of today. The younger daughter also had a son. She named him Ben-Ami. He is the father of the Ammonites of that day, of today. Alright. I didn't get any sleep last night, so I'm gonna end it right here. Y'all can tell I can't really keep up with my eyes. Abraham and Abimelech. Abraham and Abimelech is going to be the next one. So yeah, basically what it was saying there was, Sodom and Gomorrah filled with nothing but sin and disaster, and we heard it. We heard it first. Anyway, that was Sodom and Gomorrah, and also the last part, we will not ignore that. We will not ignore that last part. The daughters are trying to get the father drunk. It is not right, but God let them bear a son because he knew the struggle, and there was no other way. They did it for a righteous reason. They didn't do it for any self-pleasureness reason. They did it for a holy reason, because the Lord said that may all of Abraham's descendants be blessed forever. So, and because they had no other man for their daughters to lay with, they had to get their father drunk to bear a child. It's really wrong, but back then the Bible is the Bible. They had to go through every individual specific topic, so they have something that we could read back again to the sins that they have done back then that they did not know of at the time. They are immediately forgiven for what they've done because they did not know it at first. God basically had to let it happen so it'd be written down for us later to preach and teach not to do. Just because things happen in the Bible doesn't mean it's right. It just means that there's an understanding to it that you gotta realize. How else are we gonna know if somebody else doesn't make the mistake first? There's a reason why deaths and stuff gotta happen. There's a reason why children gotta die and this and that. There's a reason why this has to happen. God makes it happen, so it's a learning lesson. Everything has its purpose. It doesn't matter whether you think it's good or not. How else are we supposed to know if it's not done yet? Everything has already been done. So now we have something to look back and preach about. Anyway, I'll see y'all in the next clip.